Letters of Swami Vivekananda, the new edition in 4 volumes. Letter number 214, addressed to Justice S. Subramania Iyer. Footnote: Justice S. Subramania Iyer, 1842 to 1924, was a theosophist and a judge at the Supreme Court of Madras. He was one of the principal supporters of Swamiji in Madras. He presided over the Madras meeting in April 1894 and was the president of the reception committee formed in January 1897 to welcome Swamiji upon his return from the West. Care of Mr. George W. Hale, 541 Dearborn Avenue, Chicago, 3rd January 1895. Dear Sir, it is with a heart full of love, gratitude, and trust that I take up my pen to write to you. Let me tell you first that you are one of the few men that I have met in my life who are whole-souled in their possession of a wonderful combination of feeling and knowledge, and overall, a practical ability to bring ideas into realized forms. Above all, you are sincere, and as such, I confide to you some of my ideas. The work has begun well in India, and it should not only be kept up, but pushed on with greatest vigor. Now or never is the time. My plans over an extensive range have now been concentrated on this: to start a theological college first in Madras and then gradually extend its scope to give a thorough education to young men in the Vedas and different bhashyas, that is, commentaries and philosophies, as well as a knowledge of other religions besides Vedic. Along with it, to start an organ of the college in English and the vernacular. This is the first step to be taken, and huge things grow out of small undertakings. Madras is the fittest soil now for several reasons. In Bombay, it is the old inertia. In Bengal, a great danger of reaction to the other extreme. I thoroughly agree with the educated classes in India that a thorough overhauling of society is necessary. But how to do it? The destructive plans of reformers have failed. My plan is this: I do not see that our race has done badly. Certainly not. Our society is not bad but good. Only I want it to be better. Not from error to truth, nor from bad to good, but from truth to higher truth, from good to better, best. I tell my countrymen that so far they have done well. Now is the time to do better. Take the case of caste, in Sanskrit Jati, that is species. Now this is the first idea of creation. Variation, Vichitrita, that is to say Jati, means creation. I am one, I become many. Footnote: Taittiriya Upanishad 2.6.1, Bahusyam Prajayeti. Also Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.3, Tadaikshat Bahusyam Prajayeti. Footnote ends. Unity is before creation, diversity is creation. Now if this diversity stops, creation will be destroyed. So long as any species is vigorous and active, it must throw up varieties. When it ceases or is stopped from producing varieties, it dies. Now the original idea of Jati, and as it remained for thousands of years, was this freedom of the individual to express his nature, his prakriti, his Jati, his caste. Not even in the latest books is interdining prohibited. In not one of the older books is intermarriage forbidden. Now, why did India fall? When they stopped caste. As the Gita says, with the extinction of caste, the world will be destroyed. Footnote: Gita 1.43. Doshairetaihi kulagnhanam varnasankara karakaihi utsadyante jatidharmaha kuladharmascha shashvataha. Footnote ends. It now seems true that with the stoppage of these variations, the world will be destroyed. The present caste is not the real Jati, but it is a hindrance to its progress. It really has prevented the free action of Jati, that is caste or variation. Any crystallized custom or privilege or hereditary class in any shape really prevents caste, that is Jati, from having its full sway. And whenever any nation ceases to produce this immense variety, it must die. Therefore, what I have to tell my countrymen is this: that India fell because you prevented and abolished caste. Every frozen aristocracy or privileged class is a blow to caste and is not caste. Let Jati have its sway. Break down every barrier in the way of caste, and we will rise. Now, look at Europe. When it succeeded in giving free scope to caste and took off most of the barriers that stood in the way of individuals developing each in his caste, Europe rose. In America, there is the best scope for caste, real Jati, to develop, and so they are great. Every Hindu knows that astrologers try to fix the caste of every boy or girl as soon as he or she is born. That is the real caste, the individuality, and Jyotish, astrologer, recognized that. And we can only rise by giving it, that is caste or real Jati, full sway again. Again, this variety does not mean inequality nor a special privilege. This is my method to show the Hindus that they have to give up nothing, but only to move on in the line laid down by the sages and shake off their inertia, the result of centuries of servitude. Of course, we had to stop during the Mohammedan tyranny, for then it was not a question of progress but of life and death. Now that that pressure is gone, we must move forward, not on the lines of destruction directed by renegades and missionaries, but along our own line, our own road. Everything is hideous because the building is unfinished. We had to stop building for centuries of operation. Now finish the building and everything will be in its own place and look beautiful. This is all my plan. I am thoroughly convinced of this. Each nation has a main current in life. In India, it is religion. Make it strong, and the waters on the side must move along with it. This is one phase of my line of thought. In time, I hope to bring them all out. But at present, I find I have a mission in this country also. Moreover, I expect help in this country and from here alone. But up to date, I could not do anything except spread my ideas. Now I want an attempt to be made in India. The only place where I can succeed is Madras. Alasingha and other young men can work hard, but they are still impetuous young men. I therefore entrust them to your care. If you are the guiding spirit, I am sure they will succeed. I do not know when I shall go over to India. I obey the Lord's leading. I am in His hands. In this world, in search of wealth, Thou art the greatest jewel I have found, Lord. I sacrifice myself unto Thee. In search of someone to love, Thou art the one to be loved I have found. I sacrifice myself unto Thee. From Yajurveda Samhita. May the Lord bless you forever and ever. Yours ever gratefully, Vivekananda. Om Tat Sat.